Okay guys, I'm back. Do you miss me? Okay. Anyway, I'm back and in the past weeks, I'm trying to find better content, better topic, better things to talk about on my channel because I do not want this channel to be just a property channel in a way whereby we keep talking about the same thing, or we keep talking about things that you can find on the internet or things that other YouTubers may be talking about. Okay, so I want things that is more in-depth, things that is better in content, and you may not get it from anywhere else. Okay, very personal, very in-depth, very on the ball things, meaning that live things that's happening. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so I came up with a few topics, and like for example, many of you have asked me to review on projects. Okay, I actually do not want to review so much on projects because it's very subjective, and if you are buying for own stay and if you are buying for investment, it's totally two different perspectives. That's why I have not really want to review so much on projects, but I do share a bit on the projects that on investment base is really very beautiful and very affordable in my sense, whereby it's a very good entry point now. So I also want to talk about the recent EC that came out. Okay, when this video is out, I think the EC has already launched, and I don't know whether is it going to sell like hotcakes or is it going to sell like normal. Okay, we will see, but it's a very interesting thing because the pricing is like at least 1,000 per square feet up. Then also people ask me about economy. Is the economy going to affect the market that we're going to talk about, and a lot of common problems that is affecting HDB. I have a lot of questions coming from HDB owners, so I'll be actually sharing more about HDB and how some HDB selling and buying is done, and the difference between HDB and private. Okay, and also recently I realized that this bank loan thing is going to be like a very big problem, and I'm getting like a few thousand hits on my bank loan topics that I did I think a year ago. So I may also talk about the bank loan topics again. Okay, then things like new launch, resale, misunderstanding that the public have, and all these things. Okay, so these are some of the topics that you'll be seeing it premium on the YouTube, and you will see on our channel, my channel, and you will see it going on, and I'm going to do I think all this is able to do at least 5 to 6 videos. So stay tuned for the next few weeks because we will be releasing at least 1 or 2 videos a week. Okay, and these are some of the topics that we were touching about. Okay, so today we will talk about economy going down. Does it affect the Singapore property market? Okay, let's go. So if you realize on the newspaper, we have some banks doing retrenchment, we have IBM closing down, we have a lot of retrenchment and a lot of economic problems happening in this year. So many people have told me that this is going to be the start of an economic crisis. I mean, this is just what people are telling me. Okay, so do not put my words into, I don't know, don't take it too seriously, I guess. You know, I have to add a disclaimer lah. Okay, so basically to me, I feel that next year will be worse when it comes to all this retrenchment problem and everything. So many people have also experienced it in their context, in their content, and has been asking me if it will affect the property market. Okay, so I want to share this with you because this is very subjective in a way. In Singapore, we divide our property market into 3 different sectors. So we have the new launches, which is the private new launches. We won't be touching on BTOs, okay, because it has nothing to do with the property agents in a way, you know. So I can't be able to give you advice in that way because there's no very direct perspective. Is very well controlled by the government. So we were touching about the first one is a private property new launch, resale private property, and resale HDB. Okay, so first of all, we have to understand that the private property new launch prices, I mean, if you have been a very viewer for my channel, you will understand that I always tell you that the new launch pricing is fixed. The new launch pricing is there, is very hard to change, and it all determines from the government land sale, or it determines for the en bloc price. So in new launches, right, if you ask me, this year we have most of the supplies coming up, and the developers also know that some big shit is coming, it may affect the whole market as a whole. So this year the pricing is very, very sensitive. If you realize, right, recently I just got like EC prices at 1,100 per square feet. 1,100 per square feet, but there's condos, new launches like Florence, Riverfront, all these people, they are launching like 1,000, 2,000, 3,004 per square feet. So they are just a bit away from the EC prices, which you will realize that it's actually very, very low. Okay, I mean, when I say low, you guys have to be in the market to understand what is going on. It's very hard for me. It's when I say no, people say, no, Aaron cannot, no, it's not low, it's very expensive. Of course, if you compare in the resale market, it's more expensive. But the one one point that I talk to many people and they neglected that point is age. Okay, when you buy new launch, you're buying something new. You buy resale, you're buying something second hand. So today you go to the second hand market, no matter what you buy, whether is it a camera, whether is it a table, a TV, whatever, a handphone, it's going to be cheap. So how do we determine that? How do we see it that way? Is because the new launch prices are going by land sale. So when the developer buy this price at land sale, they got construction costs, then they have a lot of other costs to pay, then later on they will break even around at which dollar. You're able to calculate one. Then later on you will calculate how much they want to earn. So you cannot run away too much. You developers are making business, they are businessmen. You cannot force them to like develop a property then don't make money, right? Then bo hua ma, like that, correct? So we have to see in a very realistic perspective. So if you come to my channel, you realize that I always give a realistic perspective. I do not want to overrate it or underrate it so that you guys to paint a very beautiful picture to you or whatsoever. It's not going to happen on my YouTube channel. Okay, so basically I just want to give you an idea of how this thing works. So for property new launches, I would say that it's going to be slow, meaning that it may not move as fast, may not sell as fast, but the developers have 5 years, so today is only the first year. Even if next year, the year after is the meltdown, they're going to be like another 2 years for them to sell. So even if they sell slowly at the current pricing that they're going to sell, let's say they don't increase too much in terms of like phase 2, phase 3, it's still going to be selling. It's still going to be able to sell. It's not going to make too much problem. And if we look at it, if there's an economic meltdown and this year the developers are not selling away their units a lot, that means that next year or the year after there will be lesser lands that is released by the government. So the government actually control the amount of supplies coming into the market. And if all these developers cannot sell away their current unit, they won't go and bid the next land tender for next year or the year after, correct? So it's going to be like a very controlled supply and demand situation. So if you ask me, even in the economic meltdown, I don't perceive a very big price drop in terms of new launch private property. Okay. So next we talk about resale private property. Okay, resale is a very troublesome problem, because resale, you have to understand the price is actually controlled by the public, controlled by the seller. So all these sellers are in the resale market, they will control the pricing. So on the economic meltdown, let's say one of the sellers get retrenched, one of the sellers get business problem, SME closed down, all these things, it will definitely make them have a decision to actually downgrade, or have a decision that, hey, this is going to affect, I cannot be able to afford my loan, I need to sell. So all these small factors that affect our people, these people are actually the sellers. So the sellers will actually affect the resale market. So this is the difference between the resale market and the new launch market. The new launch market is actually very well cushioned by the developers. The developers already has a plan and how it goes, and definitely they play a very, very safe game, especially in Singapore, with a lot of rules and regulation on the way their finances work. So that's why we hardly, there is still small cases of boutique condos having this problem, but we hardly hear developers bankrupt in Singapore. So for resale is a big problem, because these sellers, if they get into this economic crisis, they're going to be selling away their property, but if you look at it in a way, Singapore, whether is it TDSR, MSR, there's a lot of rules that actually control the amount of loan that someone be able to take. So this is not going to be like other countries where economic crisis hit, people start jumping over the building, people start panicking, people start selling. You know, we don't see so much of this in Singapore. Okay, but definitely when economic crisis hit, you see less people investing, less people buying for investment, but people still buy for own stay because it's a need, not a want. Okay, so this is very important because when the economic crisis hit, or even now where the economic crisis is just at the start, or like past few years the property market is not doing well, you realize that resale that is buying with tenancy, meaning that they already have a tenant, then the tenant is still staying there, they want to sell it off, is very difficult because most of the buyers are buyers that want to buy and stay. They're not buyers that want to buy and have a tenant, you know. So when we sell our private property, we have difficulty selling units that is with tenant. You know, it's easier to sell a unit that is vacant, or like the tenant is going to leave by September, so we start selling in like June, July. So when the buyer buy over, the tenant will leave, then immediately they get vacant possession. Okay, so if you have a tenant and you hold a resale property, it's very hard to sell now currently. Okay, so I will still perceive there's going to be a drop in the resale market. However, I can tell you frankly lah, you know, many people do not need to sell, and many people fully paid off. You know, Singapore, those that are able to buy a private property, I would say more than 90% of them are very they are buying like just nice, meaning they got more than enough lah. They got more than enough. It's not going to be a big problem, you know. Every year, I mean, this thing will happen in many years, and if you realize Singapore go through it quite smoothly, not that bad in a way, okay? Because these people basically they don't get to borrow a lot of money also in a way, and if you look at it, many of these condos, they are like first owner, second owner. You know, the owner bought it like 700 over thousand, trying to sell for 1.2, 1.3 million. So the profit margin is very high. So these people they are able to hold, you know. So definitely there's a certain effect, you know, that it will have more impact compared to the new launch market. Okay, next, HDB resale. Okay, HDB resale, if I got to repeat myself again, I can tell you HDB resale is not doing well, you know. So I don't perceive that like economic crisis will not affect HDB resale, because when people lose job, people won't think about upgrading, downgrading. So the same effect that happens in the resale private property will happen in the resale HDB. The only problem is resale HDB people, right? Who are the buyers? So this is an important topic. You know, we won't talk about this in this because we can like spend another 5 to 10 minutes just trying to talk about this. Okay, so the HDB resale market is still going to get affected, you know. So everything will slow down, but like today, actually it's already very slow. You know, we don't have much demand going for HDB resale. So one selling can take very long. Okay, so and there's not a lot of people that is selling now. Most of people selling because they bought a BTO flat, you know, or they want to move to a condo. Besides that, you hardly see people upgrading and downgrading from HDB small to HDB big, or HDB big to HDB small. Very small percentage of them are doing that, and most of the people are trying to go for BTOs because of the age. So this is a crucial point, and I would say that HDB resale will definitely not increase in the next few years. It's very hard to see in a way, because if you look at the price index, right, it's actually being cushioned by resale property as well as BTO HDB that reach 5 years. So normally when the BTO houses that reach 5 years, they will sell for very high because they are like new in the sense, you know, it's like new resale. But after that, when they drop, right, it's going to make a difference. Okay, so oh my god, that's my baby's porridge. I don't know if you can hear it, you know. That's why I'm using this mic, so that you don't get like the atmospheric sound or the environment sound. Okay, so my baby's porridge is beeping now. Okay, so basically, if you understand where I'm coming from, the economic crisis is not going to affect so much in the new launch private property, but resale private property and resale HDB, there will definitely be an impact, but it's going to be very small. Okay, so this is it. So we're gonna talk about the rest of the items on the next topic, and that's it for today. And I see you again. Hit the subscribe button, like button, and I think there's a bell nowadays that send you a notification. Okay, so you must hit the ding. Bye.